Morning, and it's Paul here from Paramount Performance and VIEZU Technologies, and we've got a really exciting job in the workshop today. In fact, we've got one of my favourite jobs in the workshop today. Come and have a little look in this box with me. And this is the Harrop 2300 Supercharger. So this is an uprated supercharger for the Jaguar V8 engine. Why is it called the 2300? It's the capacity inside the supercharger. So the standard charger is 1900. This is 2300. So the actual amount of air the charger can hold is considerably larger. We've done quite a few of these now. A lot of them have gone out mail order all over the world, which is lovely, but we don't get to see the car here. And today we've got one actually we're going to be fitting ourselves. So I love it when they come in to have the fitting done here. So we're going to crack on with this right now. And I noticed on this car, there's a little sticker here, there's 650 brake horsepower. I think we're going to need some new stickers by the end of the day. This car should be running about 720, 725 by the time we're done. So I'm going to let Matt crack on and get this fitted, and you'll join us later when we're on the dyno. Morning guys, so day two of our supercharger changing for the upgraded Harrop charger. As you'll see, the stock charger is now removed, and if you'd like to join me over here, we've got both chargers now side by side. So we have the original factory supercharger and we have the replacement Harrop. And we can really at this point almost have a little game of spot the difference. I think some people mistakenly think this larger Harrop charger actually is bored out and it's polished and it's actually the same casing. It is not. This is a completely different, much larger supercharger. It can be a bit confusing because the mountings, of course, are exactly the same on both superchargers. So on initial glance, they look quite the same, but follow me down here. You'll see inside this supercharger here, the stock one, there's quite a lot of restriction versus the Harrop one, which is much more open inside. You'll see the air take here on the Harrop charger is much larger than the factory charger. And whilst we're here, if you can just have a look at these blades, this customer actually is just in time because this supercharger is pretty damn knackered. It was running on the dyno and it was just starting to pick up that sort of little diesely, rattly noise from the top of the supercharger, and that is clearly a sign the supercharger is worn, and we take it off and you can see these quite polished areas of the blades. That's not a good thing. It should not be looking like that, and actually this charger is probably beyond refurbishment because those blades are quite damaged. Now, to show you just where else these superchargers are different, I'm just going to flip it on its side, and this is now the real difference. This casing is much larger. So in fact, actually, if you look at it, it looks a little bit like a pregnant cow, if you like. It's bulbous all across the bottom, much fatter. In fact, measurement from there to there is about 1.5 inches different, whereas the standard factory one you'll see is much slimmer. It's been on a diet, it's quite skinny, and the blades in this charger are much fatter, much larger, and that's why we're getting such a bigger airflow, the 2300 versus the 1900. So we're going to build this charger up now. Obviously, we've got to put quite a lot of parts on it, the gaskets, etc. We'll get it fitted up. That's going to take Matt probably about another sort of 4 or 5 hours, and then we'll get it on the dyno and we'll start tuning, specifically tuning for the larger airflow the charger is going to give us. So hold fire, stage 2's coming. So great news guys, the Harrop supercharger is now fitted, cooling system is all topped up. We've also taken the opportunity to fit this fantastic, nice cold air induction kit. We weren't really a fan of the metal one that the car came in with because it does tend to conduct too much heat. So we've got a nice silicone kit now fitted. Supercharger is on and running. Matt's just doing final checks, making sure the cooling system is all bleeded through. then we're going to get onto the dyno and we're going to spend the next 4 or 5 hours dialing in the software to match the Harrop charger and the new airflow. So this isn't an off-the-shelf map, this is custom live tuning, and we'll take you on that journey in the morning.
So now that we've got the Harrop on the car and all the upgrades have been completed, we've loaded our base file calibration to the vehicle. We've done a couple of initial dyno tests just to confirm that everything's running as we expected, and now we're starting to build the file to unlock that full potential from the Harrop. So that's going to be a combination using our data logging tools, diagnostic equipment, some of the live data readings from the vehicle as well, as we adjust the calibration. So obviously paying special attention to obviously our timing, our boost on there, making sure that we've got no sort of knock on there. We've got good fuel running 99 through the car, and initial logs show the car's running really healthy, really strong engine, so it should be a really good one for the dyno. So we're going to jump into it, start making some changes to the calibration, and unlock the full potential of this car with the Harrop TVS2300.
So after a couple of days tuning, Harrop is all lovely and fitted. We've been working on the software file for the last day or so, and we're just about getting into our final runs now. So I'm going to get out of the way, we're going to run her on the dyno, and we're going to see just what power she's now running. So the Jaguar is running really nice, strong power, but I've got to be honest, we haven't quite got the number we were really aiming for. It's running a little bit lower. It's running at 708 brake horsepower. I actually think this car's probably running a little bit more than that, probably closer to about 720. But being two-wheel drive, we're really struggling to get the power down. When we've done these upgrades in the past, they tend to be on four-wheel drive cars. On the two-wheel drive car, on the dyno, we can feel there's a little bit of slippage, and if I'm honest, I don't think we're quite getting the right reading. The problem is, as the tyres get warmer, you're getting a bit better grip, but by then the supercharger engine is getting a bit warm too, and the power isn't quite making where we'd like it to be. At the moment, as I say, we're seeing 708 brake horsepower. That's the most we've ever seen from a two-wheel drive car. It's probably the fastest two-wheel drive car on the planet at the moment as regarding F-Types go. And look at the torque, and it's the torque that's really, of course, important, because that's where you drive. So this is the original brake horsepower, and this is the new brake horsepower curve. So huge new power right across the whole of the rev range, but look at the difference in the torque. So this red wavy line here was the original torque, and this is now the new torque curve. Absolutely massive. This vehicle is running 1,000 Newton meters of torque, which actually again reinforces to me that maybe we're not getting a true brake horsepower figure, because 1,000 Newton meters of torque is what we run on our Predator 2 conversion ourselves on our all-wheel drive car. So this car's got all the torque, but the brake horsepower is running just a little bit lower than we'd like it to be, but it's going to feel absolutely phenomenal on the road with that much torque. So as the car runs on the dyno, it does start to build up quite a lot of heat, and we're having to run it quite a few times, being only two-wheel drive, to try and get the best runs. And what you'll see, the danger is, as the car gets warmer, it starts to pull back the power a little bit. So we're in a little bit of a losing battle in some way. So it'd be our recommendation to the owner of this vehicle, if you want to get a little bit more power, if you can keep that power for longer, probably to fit our Supercharger cooler kit. And this is quite a sophisticated little bit of kit that we fit on our Predator 2 that uses the air conditioning cooling gas to really super cool the water going through the supercharger down, in fact, to about 4 degrees. And this helps keep the supercharger much cooler and keeps your power for much longer. So if we wanted to go a little bit further, try and get that sort of magical 725 figure, that's where I would go next. So I hope you enjoyed this little video of the journey of fitting the Harrop supercharger. We're going to finish up now. We are going to do a couple more runs and just see if we can get a little bit of better grip from those tyres, and we're going to get the car ready to hand over to the customer, who I'm pretty confident is going to be absolutely delighted with it. As always, keep tuned. Join us on the Jaguar Mod Squad on Facebook, and if you've got any questions at all about the Harrop supercharger conversions or any other tuning work that we carry out, please just drop us a mail. Hope to speak to you soon.